Hey, this is Tony Ross for TonyTeach.com, and this is going to be kind of a informal little testing. Well, not informal. Basically, I'm still hanging out with Eric Faries, and hopefully Chris Cartledge will be joining me a little bit later. A couple of things on the schedule. I've got to our Pepper character is a couple of years old, and I want to do something. I want to do an updated character to release and do a simple rigging class. But the little characters, the Pepper's still going to be around, but I want to come up with another little guy. I kind of like him, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and particularly I've got Eric Faries, and I'm trying to teach him the joys of one Toon Boom, and then, hey, limited or not, Toon Boom Harmony Essentials has actually got a little oomph to it, so I wanted to share some things. Um, So to do this, I'm going to use the Pepper character here. I'm just going to do something with the hand. I'm going to solo out these layers. Just kind of click out or solo here. And the first thing I'll do is go to the hand. I want to adjust where my pivot point is. And let's go rotate. I'm going to click down here. If you don't see your advanced animation tools, you want to simply right click up here and animation. And that's where I get my rotate tool from. And let's grab the right arm. Okay, that one's already set. What I want to do, I'm going to break this just for the heck of it, because it'll make a little more sense. Uh, Instead of me doing the bone rig that I would normally do with the Pepper, I'm going to show you a simple parent-child rigging. And I'm going to do this pretty much with just the drawings and not doing it with a peg. The right arm, I'm going to cut in half for a second. Let's go up to select, come down to cutter. And what I want to do is I want to cut this as if it's actually two pieces. All right, so I'll simply do Command X. And I'm going to add a layer. And so we'll call this right upper arm. Now, we were talking about this yesterday. It's sometimes better to just go ahead and do front and back. But the way this is set up, I'm just going to keep it that way for now. And if you've ever worked in, I know Flash always is, you always have to do like paste in place and all this other crazy stuff. I'm just going to do a simple paste. And it says, dude, you want it right where you cut it from? Yes, indeed, I do. So it's kind of awesome. All right, so let me go ahead and extend my exposure. Let me turn on my keys here. Extend my exposure, F5. So now that's actually there the entire time. Looks good. All right, now for the upper arm, I need to also set that pivot point. By default, the pivot points are set dead center. All right, so the upper arm, I'm going to put that at the upper part, and the arm, I have to readjust that because that's the lower arm now. Put that where the elbow is. Now, this is going to look a little janky because I haven't cleaned anything up yet. But what I'm getting ready to do is do a simple parent-child rigging. So let's see, upper arm, let's move that up to the top where it belongs. There's the lower arm. Okay. So what I'll do is simply click this lower arm here, and I'm going to drag this right under, kind of to an angle. And if you notice, there's a little line that shows up, and that lets me know that I can parent this. And now the upper arm is the parent of the lower arm. And I'm going to do the same thing with the hand. Let's take this and make that under the lower arm. So you see that nice little stair step thing going on there. Now, cool part about this is I'm going to go to my transform tool, and I've selected on my timeline the upper arm. But because it's parented, all of these are there. And I can go down the hierarchy simply by pressing Shift B. All right, so let's get that part. And if I do Shift B again, I get the hand. Okay. So that's how that works. Now, if you notice, this looks kind of janky. That's kind of messed up right there. So how do we make it look halfway decent? I can go with the upper arm. Did I lose you? Or
I tried to follow, and I just had a bit of a woo. What the heck?
which woo?
Well, take a gander at my screen for a second.
Let me. It's like I don't like the way that sounds. Hold on 1 second.
I parented the lower arm bit to the upper arm, then it kind of shrunk the lower arm and moved it up here.
Do you remember I told you about bitmaps?
Bitmaps are retarded, apparently. Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Well, yeah, it's like that's the one crazy thing. Do me a favor. Open. You see that little plus sign on your layer?
Boop.
Okay. When it says at your X and Y scale, what numbers are there?
0.191523.
Okay. Let's and so let's assume you can remember part of that number at least. Okay. Did you parent anything yet?
I just undid it.
Okay. Now parent it and watch what happens to your scale.
Let's parent to the upper arm.
Okay.
It's still the same number.
Ooh, well that's not fun.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Well, that's one of the things I kind of mentioned that as far as doing bitmap. And my question is, I thought you had actually converted them to vector when you brought them in.
No, I left them as master.
That might be
Because remember when I converted them to vector, they looked all wonky as crazy.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute, how did you convert them to vector?
You have to don't you have to import it to do that?
Yeah, when you do your first import, I know in Essentials you actually have a color vector that can be brought in.
Because I did it with the head.
Yeah, when you work
that one time.
Okay.
But
So I know
if
when you're working, for some reason, it's the way they actually work with their scaling of bitmaps.
Yeah, because it rescales it to fit inside this box. Right. But it does that in a permanent effect rather than just a temporary, oh, you can just reset it to 1 and it'll go back to whatever the size it should be.
Let's see.
Which I'm going to write a letter. Like, hey, can you add this feature, please? That would save me so much of my headaches.
That would be an awesome feature, to be totally honest. I'm trying to think, what's the trick on... Let's see, you're in the transform tool. Go to your... I'm trying to think, is there a way around that? Go to your select tool and try to do parenting again.
Which select tool?
The select tool is the black arrow all the way at the top.
Okay. And then what do you want me to do? Oh, let me just solo the arm pieces. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and try to parent something again. Oh, you don't have to do it from there. You can do it from the timeline.
Okay, I have that on so I can see what I'm picking. Okay, I'm clicking that. And you want me to parent it just like I normally would?
Yes, but don't do anything yet. Go back to your selection tool. I know this sounds weird, but I'm just trying out a theory here. Go to select. You don't have to. The bottom line is you can actually do your parenting without actually selecting anything. I just want to do it from I want to do it from the layers and try something. So
Okay.
go to your selection tool.
I'm on the selection tool.
Okay. Now go back down to the timeline and click and drag that up under the next arm and see what happens.
So drag lower arm under the upper arm.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, see, it's putting it way back there.
Okay. All right, do me a favor. Open up that little plus sign right now
For the lower arm or upper arm?
for the lower arm.
Okay.
Let's see. What does it say for Z?
For the rotation angle,
Yeah.
it's 0.
Okay.
In fact,
I'm
all
trying
these
to figure
numbers
out.
are identical to when they're not parented. In fact, here, let
I'm
me confirm that by
curious.
Control Z. Control Z, let me undo all that. Yeah, the numbers do not change.
Hmm.
Parent.
All right, last thing. Double click on that particular layer, the one that's parented, that one right there. All
Okay.
right. What do I
Oh,
want
I
to
actually
do
have
here?
that open over here.
Uh-huh. Let's see. I almost want you to send me your file because I want to actually start messing with it and see if I can fix that or figure out what's the workaround. Because I remember doing the exact same thing when I was doing when I was working with bitmaps, and I think I had given up at one point, but I was like, there's still something that I do.
Yeah.
But
When you
when it says
import and convert to vector, is there a way of cleaning up some of those like wacky what it does to your like? Because you remember what the head looked like? It had like weird positions everywhere.
yeah, not that I know of. I've never actually messed with it. I got a
Okay.
quick question. It says the first one says position, the second one says scale, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's that other option there? Because I'm not trying to read your screen.
Below
There's two.
scale.
Yeah, there's
Below scale is
the
rotation.
no, the two radio buttons under scale.
But you mean these things over here?
Nope. The little blue. Which one is selected right there?
Oh,
Okay.
it's separate is selected.
Okay.
It means you can
Interesting.
individually adjust X and Y. If you put them to lock, then it's both at the same time.
Point taken. La 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 la. Why are you giving me grief? All right, standard, and the other one is 3D path position. Yeah. Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't mind, send me your file.
Yes, of course.
On a second, I'm curious. I'm gonna be like, because I'm trying to think. I know I did. How did I do that? I did the bit. I did an actual webinar to mess with because I brought a character from Photoshop
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
over.
Artwork, animation. You. It it.
Oh, and make sure you send me the entire folder. Zip the entire folder.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
That's
do.
the one
But
thing.
Toon Boom already has
Yeah.
all my images that I imported in saved in the program, right? You don't need the images.
No, no, just that one, whatever the name of the Toon file is. It's like a folder, and there's all the stuff in there. You want to save that folder. Like zip that folder and send it to me. I think a lot of people they're used to like Photoshop, Flash, or whatever, where it's just this one little icon, and that's what you send. And that is like, I've had a
Well,
lot of
no,
people.
I didn't know if it makes its own copies of the files that I dragged in,
Yes,
like that I
yes,
imported.
it does. It does bring those into that folder. It's like this massive database. It's
Okay,
its
good.
own little
That
website. Or
explains why when I made edits to the original files to correct something, it didn't show up and I had to re-import them.
yes, exactly.
Okay, I'm just going to put this in Drive. It's not that big of a file, so it shouldn't take long. Nope, it's just a 2 meg file. All right, where are you? Cartoon persona.
2 megs. Oh my gosh, the humanity. That'll be 2 discs.
I mean, I'm sure at one point that was, but
Hold on
there
one
you go.
second. I'm
I
going
sent it to you,
to
and while you mess around with that, I'm gonna just toy around with the vector importing because I'm curious of just what I can do with that. Import vectorize. Let's just import everything.
Okay, did you download? You should download.
See, it's a good thing out here because then I can create weird issues that you have to try and solve.
It's like, I'm like,
wow, even okay, yeah, even when I import vector, it still changed their sizes
really?
to match the window.
Oh, that. Never mind. I thought you were talking about when you did the parent thing. Let's see.
Yeah, because none of these are to actual scale. That's interesting. Like it doesn't even give me an option even when I'm doing the vector thing. I guess you can only have those options in maybe advanced.
Yeah.
like, man, when they give you bare bones, they give you bare bones.
Well, and again, it's one of those things of, I wish I have an advantage over you or disadvantage in that I actually use Toon Boom Studio beforehand, and so it's like I know how bad things can be. It's like,
yeah. So it added a little bit of girth to a couple of these pieces. Okay, so yeah. That is odd. Like that is something I would recommend them changing because that I mean, I'm getting frustrated. Like this is I'm using like for anyone using the program for the first time, sitting there going, wait, I painstakingly made all these things. I'm importing them, and your program is making permanent changes to them. Can you not? like I am just in being frustrated with that. Like that's not right. It shouldn't be doing that. But like I'm not.
Wait.
To anyone out there listening, I'm not bashing the program.
I get it. Oh, you're the wrong thing. Okay. Scared me for a second. That's there. Where are you?
So now I have to like resize all this stuff again. Oh, that's right. I have that locked. Hey, dumbass, why don't you unlock the file so you can adjust it?
Okay, so you're still there. It's like, I want to think that there's a way. In what way? Notations here. The ready path. Thank you. So there should be something. All right. Let's go take you back out there. Fun times. We're having fun times.
Yep. Lots and lots of fun times.
I am trying. Lower arm. Hand. Lower arm. Upper arm. Lower arm.
By the way, you're not sharing your screen anymore.
Oh, I know that. I'm doing that on purpose, believe it or not.
Okay. Well, then they can watch me fiddle. As I'm trying to reset all these things. Okay.
If I tell you now. But I digress. That's an extra.
Oh, hey, locking actually makes it so you can keep the proportion of your scaling No matter, like, without having to hold shift on the while
Well,
you're
yeah,
like rescaling something. I like that.
that is cool.
That is nice.
You how I feel. Keep on, keep on, bringing out the best in me. Need my lyrics.
Okay, these are.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah
going
they
back to
are.
my screen.
Okay,
You give
this whole
me
mess.
a Swedish taboo.
Sweet
Okay.
Jeebus.
Well, give me a second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay, I'm gonna jump back to my screen. Um, boom. So I'm going to undo some things here. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. Okay, cool. All right. So can you see my screen? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we're going to do, we have our lower arm, we have our upper arm. All right, these are bitmaps. So what I'm going to do is drag my lower arm under the upper arm. Well, it's parented actually. And it's like, dude, it's like microscopic and some junk, right? Okay, here's my trick. Double click. Well, darn it. On the little picture, evidently. Being a troll. Thank you. Scale. Actually, let's see if I do that. Notice anything? Have you
Wait,
seen anything?
but let me try that myself real quick.
Okay.
Something.
Are you gonna see if you can break it?
Oh yes, of course. Okay, let me hide everything real quick. Okay. And you. There we go. Way the hell over here for some reason. Okay, so let's do what you did. Throw them in there. Now
Let
we
me
go
jump back
over
over to your
here.
screen.
Yeah. So if I switch that to locked, which just makes it so it's one.
Yes.
And then how do you Z space again? Like nudge it forward?
Put it in the right space first, or a right spot first.
What the? Why are you being?
Oh, because you're
No.
parented. There. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Let me try putting the right
hold
spot.
on your Alt key when you're ready.
Alt.
Alt on PC, Option on. We're going to basically nudge this little arm forward. Alt and then add your down arrow. Basically, it's the arrow that's bringing it
There we
forward.
go.
Okay.
So let me check something here. If I get you. Wait, where's my ref? Oh, I already adjusted my reference file. Shit.
Okay.
That's fine. I can figure this out. Yeah, but do you notice something a little weird?
What?
See that?
Yeah, it's a bitmap.
No. These
I
should be
mean,
perfectly lined up.
no, they shouldn't.
They should. I lined them up myself.
No, they shouldn't. They're two different layers, though. One we did an adjustment to, one we did not.
But I mean, before I did that quick scale thing, I had this perfectly scaled so that it lined up with this line.
Humor me for a second. Let's see if I'm wrong on this. Go to your upper arm.
Upper arm. Yep.
And go into that area and pretty much do the lock scale and make sure it's at 1.
And holy crap. Sweet jeeps.
This is fun.
The hell is it doing? That was
Well,
not the scale it was when I imported it. What the frick?
Is this finally the scale you were talking about? It should have been. This is funny.
Yeah, this should be this should be about the scale it was. Although you're still a little wonky. I don't know why. You should be lined up perfectly. I know I perfectly lined those up. Which means if I do the hand as well, it's going to do its thing, but I should be able to just do that. Yeah. Does this thing like hate me or something?
I think it does, maybe.
Does this program just hate me inherently? Look, I'm on this tool. I'm on this tool, which means I should have been able to just click it and start dragging it around, but it wouldn't let
Well,
me.
no, you're still. You have to click. Make sure you're. There you are.
Oh, because the box for the.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now go to your. You have your
I got the hand selected.
hand selected.
And I just did the locking trick to bring it back up to its scale. And, well, that's not right.
Oh gosh, this is fun. Well, at least we figured out part of it. I was on a roll.
Yeah, even because it's still, I think, basing it on the scale that the program created when it imported them, rather than
Yeah.
Because even over here, if I go to the bitmap versions, or not the bitmap, the vector that I created, like none of these are accurate to scale. Like that's an eyebrow, and that's the body, and they're all set to 1.
Huh.
1.
Well,
Like,
this is great.
yeah, like it's still scaling them to fit in here, and then it makes that a permanent effect rather than just a temporary thing.
Right. So if any of you are have been following along, because Eric and I did a session the other day. At the end of the day, there are two things that Eric was running into. One, his tablet is not compatible with Toon Boom.
Yes.
So I can't even go, dude, just go ahead and draw on Toon Boom because it's not compatible. So he's basically been trying to import the either vectorize
Pieces.
when you're importing or bringing in the bitmap pieces. So bitmaps, when you try to do parent-child rigging, it gets really weird. And if anyone in Toon Boom is listening and knows the workaround, I know it used to be weird. I think it still is weird because I thought we just figured out the solution there.
Yeah. But the main thing it's doing is because of its resizing is the main problem.
I'm going to jump to my screen for a second and double check something.
And I actually tried a trick that the guy said was to uninstall my drivers for my tablet, do a registry clean to try and get rid of any registry tablet files, which I tried to do, and I did my best. When I reinstalled my drivers for the tablet and went to use the tablet, it registered that I was clicking now, like as I was putting my pen down, but it was giving me this weird effect where it's as if it was drawing a line from like out in outer space to where my pen was. And if I hold space and tap on the screen, all of a sudden the screen just randomly starts panning itself over in like the top corner, like infinitely, as long as I'm touching the screen. So like maybe after a few, maybe if my computer was completely wiped clean so that there was no trace of any other tablet drivers, and then I installed the new these tablet drivers, maybe that would fix the problem. But that's not something I can currently do, and I don't think I'd be able to do it in time for the trial. Like, I think my trial will probably run out before I get that chance. But anyone out there with a tablet, don't be afraid. You might not have that problem if you've never had any other tablets installed on your computer.
Okay, so what did you do? What was different? Why did mine work? What did we do?
I can tell yours didn't work because that hand's not the right size.
So the hand's too big?
Oh
yeah, the hand is
big. That is way too big.
Let's try this. There, 0.9.
You should have that reference image as well. Oh wait, no, it was scaled down. So
I don't want the reference image.
Well, that's what it's there for.
Okay, my hand's bigger than your hand. So let's try. I'm gonna go 0.6. Oh, I guess we're going to go 0.7.
Yeah, it's a little too small.
Okay, that's pretty decent. All right, so we did 0.7.
Yeah, you can even tell on the vector here on my screen, the front hand is way smaller than the hand that's supposed to be in the back, which is totally not how I had it.
Okay, let's see. But I'm curious on something here. I'm going to go ahead to my lower arm. My selection, my transform tool selected, and my camera view is active. I'm going to do a nudge, see how far I can break this. Now select the hand, do a nudge. Looks good. I'm curious. Okay, let's do
The rotation points
F6.
should all be set the way they should be.
Okay, Shift B. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. Excuse me. Shift B again. Might be right for you, may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of his. Look up to that's the best dreams. Okay, F6. Add a keyframe. I should have set my keys, but I'm just seeing how well, seeing if this is going to actually work. La 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 la. Shift B. Shift B again. B goes back up the hierarchy. All right, let's play that puppy. All right. So now here's the messed up part. What I did not do, I did not go in and mess with the upper arm. I only adjusted the lower arm and the hand. If that makes any sense. I think that's what I did. It's like, it sounds like it's what I did. Let's find out. Hold on. Okay. Yes, the upper arm is separate and it's doing all this weird stuff. I ain't gonna mess with it. The lower arm. Oh yeah, this is because we're animating. That's why it's giving all that weird things. For instance, if I do, nope, I'm not gonna look at that. Leave it alone. 3D path, lower A. That was the other thing. Make sure I'm not going crazy. Separate. Did you do a 3D path on the other one? Or were we just playing around and didn't put anything back? All right, let's see if I can break this. Hopefully not. Put you back to separate.
I like the way you put that.
Okay, that's what happened.
Like, let me see if I can break a thing.
Well, it's like, is this either going to be awesome or it's not?
Either going to work or it's going to fail miserably or hilariously, whichever first.
Oh, which, by the way, bad habit. I have my, I have this expanded in adjusting things. I hate when I do that. Okay, let's go back there. And go back there. Okay, cool. I think that might have been. Okay, you were there. You were standing. You were there. Two worlds collided. Let's see. Okay.
Oh. Come on.
All right. So, all right. I did not mess with the shoulder because if I actually turn the shoulder doing what it's doing to that other thing, that's where it gets weird. I think. Let's see if I can break this. If I go locked, boom. Take it back to separate. So the shoulder, we actually had that set up where we wanted to, and the only thing I changed was what was happening with the hand. And the lower arm and the hand are two different measurements, but I know exactly how to scale them, and it's not me trying to manipulate that within the words. Um, I said tool properties. Excuse me. Trying to manipulate that just from the scaling there. I'm just double clicking and using my layer properties, which you were saying you had yours popped up over here. So you can literally come over here, plus bring up the layer properties. So they're always kind of there. I don't use mine that often, but I guess if I were you and going to be playing around with bitmaps, yeah, that would be there. Um, so that's the quickest way. And I wish I would have known that the first time I was playing with bitmaps, because I remember it's like, why are you doing that? It's not what I meant. So it's kind of crazy. Um, let's see. But yeah. So is it doable? Yes. Is it the best solution? No, but it's doable.
It's definitely harder than it needs to be, but it is doable. And it's just honestly, all they need to do is add add a little option when you import the image to not scale. If they added that,
Ooh.
that would fix everything. Like that would literally fix all these problems.
Yeah, I said the words. Yeah, do not scale. I wonder if who is it? There's a I know I'm not tripping.
Because even the scaling I'm doing here, there's no way to make it so it's a permanent aspect, so that this new scale is the one scale, like the zeroed out scale. Like even that would be amazing, because then I could just scale it to where I need it, zero it,
Right.
and now whenever I hit reset something, that's where it goes back to.
Where's my scripting toolbar? There is. I almost want to. It's you'll kick me almost for even asking, but I'll have to check with I gotta find out if Tracy's scripting buddy knows anything about that. That'd be interesting. Because there's like there's some plugins that they actually made for 15. And so I'm kind of
That'd
curious
be cool
about.
too.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Funny thing is like a lot of them are play. I know a lot of them play on the what's the word I'm looking for? Premium playground. Let's see where. I know I just added that. Where did you go? Ah, there you are. Okay, stop script, manage scripts. Thank you. Let's see, composition builder. Ooh. I have to look up that. I have to look that up and figure out what it actually does. But yeah, there's different JavaScripts and things that people actually ones that come standard, but also people have started creating some. So, all right. So what we've figured out is I'm going to break the other arm over here. Wherefore be that upper arm, lower arm. You know what I'm curious on? Huh. Let me try this. I'm going to select all three of these little dudes, come up here and add a peg to each one. Okay, the hand peg. And I'm going to set my pivot points. I am curious, as in I am normally And most people give me a fit for this. I'm not necessarily anti-peg. I just like, especially if I'm in a rush, which I usually am. I usually just do the drawings. So I'm going to try this and see what happens. Basically, I've set all the bitmaps of the other arm here in pegs. So let's see if.
So using pegs and then parenting the pegs instead.
Uh-huh. Come here, dang
That
it.
might be a workaround.
It might be if I can get this stupid thing to work. Hold up. Okay. Okay. That is not what I meant to do. Oh, it is. Okay. Quiet.
You were accidentally typing the name.
Huh? Let's see. That is weird.
What if you just had the 3 pieces as part as one peg?
Don't talk for a second. I'm trying to do something real quick. Okay.
Ooh, that one adjusted the hand for some reason.
Yeah. Which you should have been. You were there. You were not where you should be. Go back. That's the one thing I actually got spoiled on in working with the network is parenting pegs because it's a little easier. All right. Where are you? Lower arm, yes. But you should be over there. Upper arm needs to be there. Seriously, bro? It's like, I think I actually had this. I'm probably messing around with it the wrong way. Come here. Upper arm.
Oh, I'll give Toon Boom this. At least it's saved all my original scales.
Yeah.
So as I'm unparenting these things, like scaled properly again, like to the one because when I switched over to locked,
Right.
it made it go to 1, but then when I switched back to separate, it remembered the numbers I had before, which is that's nice. I don't want the complete.
Okay. Let's try this another way. Let's go. La 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 la. Okay. Upper arm. So yeah, we're playing Toon Boom Labs here. I'm gonna bring in one of their tech people on one of our hangouts. Go. Yeah. Why does this happen?
Yeah, let me talk to one of their techs. Like, all right, look, buddy.
Okay, upper arm. Let's try upper arm.
Look at here, sir.
Lower arm. I'm gonna break this first. Then go to hand. All right, now what I'm gonna try to do.
Oh, that's right. I changed their positioning all up.
Let's set you to a peg. Actually, I should be able to do this and that. Or not. Nope, that's not working. But that's what should work. Fun times. We're having fun times. Okay. Peg. Yes, peg. No, does not work. There's a short answer. I was trying to figure if that maybe it's because of the peg. It's like, yeah, you should always work with pegs, and that's why it's not working. No, that's not it. Okay. So, bottom line, bitmap. If you're playing around with that, once you actually have your this one piece that was scaled, and the second thing we did was went in and adjusted, double click on this layer, and adjusted, pretty much made the scale locked and started changing the sizing there. The reason that we don't see them like looking normal right now is because excuse me.
But I was the one who just woke up.
Let's see. Let me try one more thing. Upper arm, lower arm. I'm going to do the thing that you don't want to do. Where is Mr. Bones?
You mean trying using the bones to see if that fixes it?
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm going to click a bone. Go have one at the elbow. Have one at the hand.
I mean, if that ends up being the thing you have to do, then well.
Well, I'm just curious. Okay, now here's the deal. I'm going to take Mr. Lower Arm, Mr. Hand, Mr. Hand. Put these back in order. Okay, now. Wads. Go here. Bend the arm. Yes, you are. Calm down before you freak out about the whatchamacallit. I know I haven't done any thingies. Kinematic outputs.
Oh, making them each be on a kinematic output?
Yeah, I'm actually curious about this.
I thought about asking you about that, actually.
Let me see if I can get away with it. Because it should allow me to move them, but not distort them, in theory.
In theory.
I agree with you in theory, Marge. In theory. Ooh, that ain't pretty. Seriously? Reverse that. Interesting. I can't have all of them kinematic. Interesting.
Really?
At least, wait a minute. Let me see if I can break this. Let's see. Boom. Maybe I can. Let's see. I think the way I was setting it up before. So yeah, you're watching me experiment with stuff. Like, have I done this before? No. And let's do one on the hand.
I hope I never have to. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's when I actually did the hand, that's when it's giving me grief as far as I think the only place I would put one or end up putting a kinematic output, like I'm bending the arm. Let's see. One, gotta do something here. Seriously, bro? Quit playing. Thank you. Option, thank you. And the hand, same deal. Seriously. Option, nope. Gotta make sure the camera area is active. Thank you. All right. So can I Put a kinematic on the hand. I think that actually looks better than whatchamacallit. It's not as you're not getting that actually that looks kind of cool. Bend straight, bend straight. And then that's not too bad. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, your deformers are treating your arm a lot better than
Everything else has.
the yeah. As much as you hate the deformers, like for instance, I don't think, especially on the arm, this
Okay,
actually looks
that's what I was
pretty
worried about
decent.
right there. I didn't know if it was going to put that little overlap line, but it looks like it is, so that's good.
Well, I nudged the arm forward.
Right. Oh, you're making it so it's only flexing at the elbow, mainly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because that's where the bone is, or excuse me, that's where the because you can still see there's the that's where the pivot point is. Right here's the articulator.
Yeah.
Circle. So yeah, that's, and then I have the kinematic output only on the hand.
Right, because that's the only one that doesn't need deformation.
Right. So technically, I think I did 3 bones, and I only needed 2. Like it should be like here and there, and then so yeah.
Well,
But yeah, that's a nice.
Let me repeat your process.
No, we're gonna get off the line before you. It's like you're gonna break it. No.
Of course I am. That's the point. If I don't break it, then you won't know if there's actually a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Jump to your screen.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do the front arm just because you did that arm. Let's try this arm. So, now you got to remember how all this stuff works. It's been a little while. So we'll start up here. Let's put a bony thing right here. Bloop. And towards the wrist, and then one for the hand, or just leave the hand alone?
Go ahead and do one for the hand. That's what I did, and because we're gonna, even though we're gonna disable it for the most part.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine because I don't really want it to deform this part, and we'll see if I have to adjust that later.
Okay.
In fact, I could probably pull that a little bit there. There. Okay. Bone made. Let's call this arm A. All right.
All right.
So I remember how all this works.
Now, everything, you've got to get your lower arm and your excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. So do I just drag this under bone 1?
Let me double check because I did 2 different things on mine. Let me check real quick. La 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 la. Where we at? I did upper arm is there. Yeah, each you're pretty much separating them into bones. You got upper arm goes there. Lower arm goes.
So the up arm should be
that first. It's pretty much where that first bone is, and pretty much I'm taking upper arm under there.
So under the main bone,
right? And then there's the second bone. Make sense? I'm gonna jump back to your screen.
What in the unholiness did I just do?
Looks like you did something you weren't supposed to.
I put that there.
Undo what you did just for a second.
Right now, this is under bone 2, which is that bone.
Yeah, did you actually rename all your bones already?
Just the first one. I just called that arm A.
So that's where the upper arm should go under.
Right. And it's down here, so I need to drag it under this, right?
Yeah.
So
right. Make sure you see those little lines.
Okay.
Okay. Did it go there? Doesn't look like it went.
It looks like it also put bone 1 and 2 disappeared. Like,
I'm gonna do the thing where I can take hold of your screen. Like, I'm gonna control you. Okay, undo that again.
because all I did was I clicked this arm and then I started adding bones.
Okay, so you click the upper arm, right?
I clicked the upper arm when I started adding the bones, yes.
Okay, humor me on this. Go ahead and put your lower arm and your hand in that same area right under the last bone. It doesn't matter what the stacking order is right now. You can always reorder that.
No, under the bone 2. There we go. It's under bone 2.
There you go. Okay, great. Now you can try to do this. The upper arm, because there's 3 stacks there, right?
Yeah.
Bring it up so you see it, and so you have to see that line. Those little lines are your guide of where you're going to actually drop it in the hierarchy.
All right, where do you want me to drop it?
To the very first bone.
Okay.
Right under there. Okay, great.
Oh, now you want to put it there. Before it didn't want to put it directly under like that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You have to look for those little lines.
I thought I saw that line, but apparently it wasn't correct.
It doesn't like you, dude.
No, it doesn't. It does not like me at all.
All right.
And then low arm under bone 1.
Yes. All right, you see that line. Great.
And then bone 2 has the hand under it. But that's supposed to be a kinematic output.
We're going to make a kinematic output. Kinematic output, again, is like we say we don't want this to distort.
Okay, so I click the hand plus kinematic.
Yes.
And then I'll call that
Boom.
KO and A.
Okay. Now
I just need to change their Z positioning because they're
right. Now, if you notice that you have to be on your transform tool when what did you do?
Huh?
I was like, where's your other arm? Where'd your other bone go?
Oh, yeah, good point. Where'd the other bone go?
Where'd you put the kinematic output?
Like, down here, under bone 2.
That should be only for the hand, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's the hand's bone. Here, let me control Z a few times real quick. Everything's back.
Okay. All right. It's like, what the Jiminy? Go ahead and let's nudge stuff.
Yeah, let's nudge touch before I do the kinematic thing.
Okay. So you have to use your transform tool, and you also have to be in the camera view, which is good. So click that, and
weird, things aren't highlighting like they usually do.
Yeah, they're highlighting well enough.
Well, I meant like usually they turn the whole thing like turns a reddish hue. But anyway,
right, I get that.
Alt down.
Mm-hmm. Or option. Yep.
I need to do that twice because it needs to be in front of that. Okay.
Okay. So.
Oh boy.
So. Select the hand.
Okay, got it selected.
All right. Now okay. Let's go to kinematic output and see what happens.
Plus KO. Why is it making the bones disappear?
Yours shouldn't be. Let's see. Why is it? Okay, where is the kinematic output? It's only there.
It's right there. Yeah, so it's just for some reason not. I can't see those bones anymore for some reason. And look, if I put my hand over here, it's not giving me the option to rotate the bone. So that bone is like gone all of a sudden.
question. Okay, there's that.
Why'd it work for you,
What
but
is
not
that?
for me?
Well, I could say that Macs are better, but you won't like that. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see your screen. Let me check one thing here real quick. Hide that. Let's go. Huh. That is really odd.
Mm-hmm. You're telling me.
All right, take your arm. Let's take the kinematic output out again.
Control-C. Literally, the moment I take the kinematic output out, it just decides to work.
Oh. Do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Let's take your hand and put that under bone 2.
It is. That's bone 2 right there.
Excuse me. Go ahead and parent that. Actually, put it under bone 1. Move the hand to bone 1.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, let's see if I can break this again. Set
Oh,
that to
look,
kinematic.
bone 2. Oh, because bone 2 is behind these two. That's being like.
Yeah. Now set the hand. Now try to set the hand to button kinematic output. Just the hand though. What
All
you
right.
doing?
You know what? Fuck you, game. Or screw you, program. Okay. That kinematic fucking output. And it got rid of the freaking bone again. What is this thing's deal?
That is too awesome.
And you didn't notice, but if
wait
I
a minute.
minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say if I go back one, you'll notice that bone down here is gone because it's hidden. Like even though it's technically there, it's right there. It's gone.
Well, we don't have anything on it.
I know, like that's weird. Oh, is that why? If there's nothing on the bone, then it just poofs?
No.
Okay, then don't say that then.
It's like,
You're making...
so what do I want to go with for now? Okay, let me jump back to my screen and figure out what did I do? Like, why is mine different? Okay.
Yeah, you rig this arm. I'm gonna watch you rig this arm.
Okay. So I did rig the other arm. You have a point. Let's see if we can. Let's go up to this top arm here.
And
all right, so
you got to get rid of all that stuff you've done, though.
Yes, let's and let me do this really quick. I'm just simply going to select all those and press F7, get rid of my keys. And this is we had parented this normally.
Yeah, we tried doing it the parenting way.
Okay, and of course you give me grief because we did the weird size thing. So that's the other thing we didn't mess with the other one with size yet. La 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 la. Let's see, separate. Where is my scale? Are you already set, right?
Yep, that's set correctly. That 19, that 0.19 blah 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 is the correct scaling.
Okay, that's there.
You could just copy that, click on locked, and just paste it there, and it'll lock both X and Y.
Wee. Okay, locked. Come here. Separate. Since shipping difficult. Paste. Why are we giving me grief? Seriously, bro? Why, bro?
Well, you haven't saved yet, so if you reloaded the program, it would reset back to the way I had it.
You have a good point. It's like we've been playing without a net here. It's like, where yeah. So did you guys ever do that? I'm gonna do open recent. Boom. Don't save. La 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 la. Wherefore art thou? Okay.
There, everything's back to normal.
Everything's back to normal. So we started from the beginning. Get upper arm, lower arm. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to take the upper arm. I'm going to come up here to my rigging tool. And I'm going to click for the shoulder. One for elbow. And just because it's being difficult, one for the wrist. Do I want to do the other one or not? I usually do. Let's see. Okay. So now, it has only done the upper arm. Okay. So I'm going to take the upper arm, move that. There you go. Come here.
It's doing to you exactly what it did to me.
That's cool. Not thoroughly worried yet. Okay, let me undo this another way. Because la 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 la. Boom. This is me not saying what I'm doing. Come here. Come here. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Not upper arm. Why are you giving me grief? My computer is trying to slow down. Which I don't need you to slow down. I need you to actually do what I need you to do. Sweet. Oh, my computer's hot. Okay. So, basically, I actually have these now. And I've got 3 bones, and I just did a stack of 3. Get this thing to act right. Hand. Lower arm. Why are you doing that? Upper arm. What in the entire French toast?
I'm glad I'm not the only one getting frustrated.
This is like, that's really not cool. You know what, bro? I'm going to undo you real quick. Let's see exactly what I did. In theory. There's the upper arm. Lower arm. Thank you. Going to nudge you forward. Thank you. You dork. Nudge you forward. Thank you. Nudging. Oh yeah, one more time. Thank you. All right. So there are the bones. The upper arm has the bone. Take the lower arm, stacking that. Take the hand, stack that as well. I'm going to put these in order. So it should be upper arm is above, lower arm is here. So I'm not stacking them inside the bones, if that makes any sense. Bone, bone, and then we've got this 3 stacked right there. Now, what I'm going to do is select the hand, and then I'm going to place that under, not under, kinematic output. So now I should be able to get, please, please, please. Yes, you gave me my bend exactly where I wanted it. And the hand, if you notice, there's not a bone right there because the hand now is rotating with the transform tool, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yes, putting it in the bone. That was my bad. Because I was like, I know I've done this before. But what we've noticed is by using the bones for this, there's not that weird whatchamacallit thing. The scaling issue. So if I try this again with the other arm, let's see, upper, lower. All right, so I'll go to my rigging tool. And again, we're in essentials, so I'm using the bones. So I'm going to click once at the shoulder, click once at about the elbow, once at the wrist, once at the hand. Okay, the articulators, they've
I thought you didn't
estimated.
put one for the hand.
Hmm?
I thought you didn't put one for the hand.
I actually did, but you'll see in a second what happens.
Oh.
So now, let's grab the lower arm and the hand, and I'll put these in the correct stack. Let's say so the upper arms first. All right, I think I did that weird thing where so if we go to transform. That was weird, and it's the same thing that's happening here. I should have done the should have done the nudge ahead of time. That's weird. I wonder. Let's say, even though it's telling me something different. No, I guess it worked. All right. So those 3 are there, and then with the hand selected, once I put the kinematic output on it, that bone should disappear. Of course, it's not now. Fine.
Yeah, why is it only doing it on the one side? That's weird.
What do you mean? The kinematic thing?
Yeah. Like the kinematic thing removing a bone for some reason.
Not sure, but I can tell you this. Part of this might be my computer right now because it's actually starting to heat up. So, um, hold that thought. I keep having rings and I don't have my phone near me real quick. Hold that thought.
Is there a way of moving like layers down without having to drag them? Because sometimes dragging is a little.
There is, and there's a quick key command, and Tracy's going to kick me for not knowing. By the way, you guys hear me mention Tracy a lot. If you have not done this, be sure to check out the channel Stylist Rumble. She is like a Toon Boom goddess, god, however you want to pronounce it. She is awesome. And she gets on me a lot about not knowing my quick keys. So let me check something real quick. Who is pinging me? Hold that thought. Okay. Going there, going there, going there. Was cartoon persona. Okay. So yeah, that should work. Okay, so you did your nudging is like it's almost okay, you got a call. But yeah, see if you can do the
And
kinematic
then,
output without it going crazy. Okay, cool.
okay, that time it didn't get rid of the freaking bone. Like, what?
Hmm.
Program, you freaking weird sometimes. You get a little bit of breaking every here and there. It's not perfect, but it should do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like right there. It's like, I don't know what to do. Oh, God, yeah, okay. Okay, then. Ugh.
But yeah, it's that one of those things of you start either one check and see what happens. Um, but I say definitely reach out to them on that. I have to look and see how I did the other one though, because I know I brought in a character and I don't recall. Maybe I was using the deformers. Maybe I was trying to figure out why that actually worked.
Okay, there we go. Now it's doing it. Whoa.
Well, yeah.
That
Well,
ain't.
here's the thing. Oh, do you know why? Whoa, no, 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 no. Do not adjust that there. If you notice, you're changing the rest, right?
Yeah, I just saw it.
Go back to your If you go back to the rigging, that deformer change how that's basically saying that's the area it's going to deform. You really only need the rest, right?
Yeah.
So it's just should be about right there. Um, if you remember with the pepper, we did like
Mm, it's
and then you can always adjust
still.
the hand. Well,
Yeah.
you don't. It's not going to be automatic. You adjust. You like when you bend the hand, then you would actually go ahead and set that up because your bottom. You're not doing this live. You'd be setting up your key poses, right?
Well, yeah, but like, I guess the thing is, I might need to do a little redesigning of the whole body because the body was designed a specific way to work a certain way.
Right. Click on
So,
click on the hand. Right. So that's how you would adjust the hand. Not necessarily the bone is going to actually put it somewhere, and then you would adjust where the hand is because it has a kinematic output on it.
yeah,
Because it's
because
not normally it would distort and match with that line, but because we're saying no, don't distort that. We actually want the
yeah,
hand to stay where it is. So you just adjust where the hand is using the transform tool.
because you see the way I designed the puppet piece, it should
Yeah.
follow that. Like I have it made so it'll follow that, but because this is deforming,
Well, at the end of the day, and um, if you drew like I'm trying to think because you drew this in. Did you draw this in? Is it digital? Not digital. You didn't draw this vectorized in Clip, did you?
no, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to render it out vector.
Well, can you actually? I mean, you can't because Clip doesn't let you do any type of Illustrator export or anything.
Uh, Illustrator, no.
Because I know when Chris does a lot of stuff, he'll work in Illustrator, and we'll just go ahead and import that into Toon Boom. Because and it's like, okay, your vector, your vector. The only issue Mike says, hey, do you want me to bring in this palette? Yes, I do.
Oh, duh. No, it's on separate freaking screen. There we go.
Okay.
Where are you? Persona quarter. Yeah, this is the original sheet that I used.
Okay.
And then each of these is their own. These are all pieces. And then I have my this I originally made to line things up. So these are all the points where these holes should line up.
Well, why? It's allow me to pick on clip. Why the heck don't they allow you to export an Illustrator file of some sort? Even an old Illustrator thing, that would be awesome.
Because I can export in these formats a single layer.
I'll have to look that up. Anyway, this has been just kind of us jamming around. I guess Chris got tied up. I thought he'd be here. But yeah, we're gonna work on I think I've got an idea to do.
Yeah, I can only save as a Photoshop.
It's really weird. I'm gonna do research on that.
Yep.
I think I'll also send you the I'm not sure how I did it, but I know because wait a minute, if you're saving us, maybe that was that. We'd saved the bitmap character I brought in. I saved her out as Photoshop, or Lamont saved her out as Photoshop when I imported her. I have to send you that webinar. I did a Toon BIM webinar doing bitmaps and making a character.
I mean, you want me to try saving as a Photoshop file?
No, not necessarily. It's like I'm
try.
saying, you can try that. I don't know how it's going to actually work out because we're going from clip to a pseudo Photoshop and then to Toon BIM, so it can be interesting.
Well, if nothing else, it would at least save all the layers the way they are.
Well, yeah, you have a very valid point in theory. So I don't think you can do drawing substitutions with bitmaps, like bringing them in. That's where it gets weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, yeah, I would just go ahead and try and see what happens when you bring that in and see how many layers it gives you.
Yep, screw it. Caution to the wind. Photoshop file.
All right, so I'm gonna cut off for now because I think it's starting to snow here in Atlanta, aka rain. So I've got to run.
But how would I import that? As image or
what? Yeah.
Boop. Boop.
And file it's going to go, hey, do you want this? I think it's going to ask, do you want layers or frames?
Let's turn off vectorize because we don't want it to. Okay. Let's hit OK.
Yeah, there it is.
Some of the items you're importing contain multiple layers. Create separate layers. Transparency is straight. I'm guessing that's what I want. Straight transparency. What in the unholy?
I can tell you. This is part of what I was concerned with. The reason it didn't do layers, it's actually doing drawing substitutions.
Oh wow, it made just 2 layers for everything.
No, move your playhead.
What the? Okay, that's what you meant.
Yes, because in Photoshop, what you have to do is each of your layers has to be in a folder, or like a layer folder. It's a weird thing, and I don't know why that distorted. That's the weird one. Okay. So remember, I'm going to go back to my first thing that I said. I don't know because we're coming from clip to pseudo Photoshop, then going to Harmony.
Yeah, because the only Photoshop version I have is the outdated one, because you can technically download it for free because they don't support the license anymore. Shh.
Well, how outdated is it?
I think it's like CS2.
Well, shoot, even
CS2.
CS2, you can definitely you can still do what you need to do though. Do you follow me?
Save it as a Photoshop file loaded in that Photoshop to like set things up, or what?
Smack it, flip it, rub it down. Pretty much. Each of your layers, you had them in a layer folder.
I had
Make
a
sense?
couple of them in, yeah. Oh, you mean take them out of their folders?
No. What I'm saying, if you have more than one layer in a folder, like where is that? That's what's wrong. Like humor me on this.
Okay.
If you make a new document, can you make a new clip document? And this is what I'm gonna do, so I gotta run. We're gonna do an experiment.
Son of a B. One sec. Turning on my other monitor. Well, it's because it's designed to be over on. Why are you not powering on? Did something get loose? Did something get loose? All right, that's concerning. No, it won't.
So if you're just joining us, this is Tony and Eric overcomplicating a fart, pretty much.
Pretty much. No, this is actually a real issue. Like, why is my monitor not? Let me unpower it. Make sure.
Matter of fact, while you're doing that, I've got clip over here. Let me try something real quick.
Okay, that's scaring me, actually. Why are you not?
Do you need to run?
Oh, okay. I unplugged it, plugged it back in. It worked. That was freaking me out for real, though. Okay. Here we go. New document. No, not a new animation. Just a new illustration.
Yes.
Okay. Just open a random one.
So are you there?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So for the first, go ahead and make the document. Make the first drawing, just draw a quick number 1 on the screen. It's a big old number 1. Okay. Can you put that drawing in a folder? Make sense?
It's in a folder.
Now make another layer, make another drawing, and make it number 2. So if you're wondering, guys, what we're doing, we're testing out a theory to see. Now put number 2 in its own separate folder. Testing out a theory to see if you can export a bitmapped layered document from Clip Studio. And so this is what is it, Manga Studio? Some people, the old name.
Yeah, they don't use the old name anymore. It's just Clip Studio Paint, and this is.
I didn't say about they, and it's like you don't know who actually. I'm not going to update it because I like the name Manga. Anyway,
get over it. This new version has a lot of cool shit.
All right, so do a third drawing and actually have so each you're basically doing not a folder and a folder and a folder, but it should be 3 layer folders, and each side of each folder is a different drawing.
Oh, not inside of each other?
No, not inside of each other.
Okay, then I'll
their own thingy.
Then I will adjust this. Oop. Okay, yeah, I said like that. Let's put you down here. There. And so now I have 3 folders.
Right. Do you need the background at all?
No, I can turn that off.
Well, or get rid of it or something.
Yep. Gone.
Okay. So what I would like you to do is save this as a Photoshop document. Or save it out as a Photoshop document.
File. Save.
So let's see if this will work.
I also don't know the difference between Photoshop and Photoshop Big Document.
Photoshop Big Document, I think they did that where for like posters and billboards, there was a certain file, the way they actually do it. That's a PSB.
Okay.
Versus a PSD.
It is now a Photoshop file right there.
Okay, let's jump over to Harmony.
Harmony.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna delete these 2.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Just gonna forget that even happened. Okay, file, import images.
Right.
New canvas, open.
Click OK.
Create layer, yeah. Click OK. Separate layers, straight transparency, hit OK. Okay, nothing broke.
There are your 3 layers.
Yes, it gave me all 3.
That's the way you have to do it. But
okay,
if you have more than one thing in a folder, and then it's a subfolder, that's the way it breaks it down. That's the way Harmony reads it.
Oh. But another way I could do it to just make this problem not even a problem is just do away with folders and just order them in order that I want them in.
You could try that. I would test that out in theory.
So I can easily try that on here. Yeah, so I don't need the puppet points. So let's just put that up there.
Like I said, you're the at the end of the day, if you're wondering why we actually did the 1, 2, and 3 versus something out of here, it's like, let's try the simplest way. It's like,
and then do the simple first, then go with the complicated what the frickery.
Yeah. Yes, because it's easy to count, hey, are there supposed to be 3 layers? Yes, there's 3 layers versus there's 35 layers. It's like, that's where it gets tricky.
And I'll get rid of the paper background just to keep things simple. Persona copy, what is that? Oh, that's just a sketch. I can get rid of that. Each of these is their own layer, including the main guy here. Right, so...
Right. And make sure you call it something different.
Call this quarter 2 because I'm lazy. Saving, and it's saved. Let's go here. Oh, that's right, you can't. You gotta do that. It's just... not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. Import, images, browse, quarter 2. Oh, why did I put that? Oh, because of the number. Import. Okay, separate, straight. Yeah. It made them as...
yeah, that's what I was talking. It still goes. So the safest bet is to go the other way. But you at least know it will come in separate.
Okay, so it treats and it's why? Why?
That one still confuses me.
Why?
I don't have an answer on that.
The hell is this thing doing to my file? Okay, so it treats individual folders on this as individual layers here.
Yes.
But it treats individual layers in the file as individual thingies here.
Right. And you can't use them as drawing substitutions. They don't work out that well. At least with my experience.
Whoa! Why did it do that to that one now?
I don't know.
Look. My hand's down here. It's fine. The moment I come up to this view, it fricks with them.
No clue. Like I said,
what is this program?
But as far as we know, we didn't see any weird distortions or even scaling issue with whatchamacallit when we did the 3 coming in. That was like, test that out.
Let's test it out. We're here. Yeah, no, it's not doing it here for some reason. It hates me. It legitimately hates me. It knows that this is not the file I want. So it's like, oh, we'll treat this one fine. But the file that I want to work fine, no.
The file that you wanted, I said, test it out, put everything in folders. Because at least because again, because even if the newest Harmony works fine with just layers coming from Photoshop, we're not coming from Photoshop. Technically, we're coming from Clip Studio's version of Photoshop, which Clip Studio's version of Photoshop, I guarantee you, I'll say I'm 90% sure that it's not going to be the latest Photoshop because of all the legalities and things like that. They're going to give you an earlier version of Photoshop. What file format that is. Does that make sense?
I need to create a shortcut key for this.
Meanwhile,
creating a folder and throwing the layer in.
Gonna run because I gotta go check on the wife because it's snowing.
Yay, snow.
So kids, this has been Tony Ross from TonyTeach.com with our special guest Eric, and we're just seeing how we can mess up in Photoshop and in Clip Studio and Harmony and break stuff.
Breaking all things. If you're a developer out there and you have a program that you want to really hard test it, send it to me. I swear I will find ways of breaking it.
Oh, and by the way, before I chime off, for those of you who are thinking, dude, why don't you guys just use Harmony Premium? That kind of defeats the purpose of what this whole thing started, because I was arguing that you still can do some pretty powerful stuff in Harmony Essentials. So we've been showing how to work and build things in Harmony Essentials. You did that pretty quick.
Wait, is it gonna? It's not breaking.
Doesn't seem like it's breaking.
It's not. I can click on. Although their sizes are a little, well,
because it's looking at the whole thing. I think that's probably one of the things when you bring it in.
Yeah, because look, that's the eyebrow. Look at the area for the eyebrow.
Right. Yeah, I think that's one of the. I can't remember how we got around that. I think it has to do with how you import it. I think. Meanwhile. Anyway, guys,
I will toy around with that later, and I will give you an answer.
I would like to see that answer. All right, this has been Tony Ross for TonyTeach.com. Remember, keep it simple, make it perfect. If you don't have time to make it perfect, rethink the idea. And we are still toying around with the idea of coming up with a new character. This is not the new character. This is Eric's character.
This is me.
Chris and I will be chiming in later and talking about what we're going to be doing for the new course and updating our little Pepper character or coming up with a new Pepper character. So have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.